Hello and welcome to our daily sketching routine. It is Tuesday, February the 18th, 2025, and today's topic, for now I'm going to call it using imagination to draw. Before we begin, welcome back if you're returning, welcome if you're new to the channel. I sketch and post every day and I use a timer to stay focused and to build a habit. I'll start a 10-minute timer. So I wanted this video to be something that I can refer to, so it won't be like I don't really have an idea of what I'm going to draw, but like it's more about like the process of doing it. One, it does take practice, which is why I do like the daily sketching habit. So I'm just going to use this area here. I'm going to put it in the basics. I'm going to draw an eye. The difference between, and it just depends on, I was going to say like the difference between like making it a drawing versus like a sketch. So a sketch can be both, like the line work itself can be sketchy, but it's also the fact that it's maybe to be used for like something else could also make it a sketch. So yeah, just part of it is the, like if I draw it kind of more definite like this, then I could just say, well, that's the drawing. Or if I use this to like color or go back and like render it, then this would be like the initial sketch. And it also depends. I mean, you can kind of see what I'm doing, but there's not like one way to do this. It takes some practice, I mean, some studying. But I think, like, as children, I don't feel like kids really know how to construct a figure or like, yeah, like use some kind of technique to draw like the face. I don't think they really know how to use reference, but like they can just draw from imagination. So yeah, I just wanted to have a video that would be able to, in the future, I can just say, I can link to this video to sort of show a demonstration how, one, you kind of have to get warmed up. So there's that. The other thing is the practice, which is habit and also hand-eye coordination, construction. So for example, I'm not going to draw the construction lines, but I'm just going to, like, it depends on what kind of, how realistic or whatever. So I'm just going to put some guidelines. Part of it is like the style, because I'm using ink. I'm kind of thinking about like the dark, but I don't have to outline everything. Also depends on what you're drawing. So yesterday I was drawing like a landscape, so you don't have to worry so much about proportion and stuff since it's like tree branches and everything. So part of this is the kind of thinking about like the lighting, so you kind of, it's good to sort of practice that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a little different when you start attempting to explain what you're doing. Part of it is the, like I was saying, kind of the definiteness of it. But yeah, it's just one way to sketch. Now at some point I might just do a video where I'm just sketching without necessarily talking about it. So yeah, I wasn't really sure what I was gonna draw, but one thing is I did want to show how there is kind of a difference between just doing a drawing versus like sketching. Then the idea could be, well, what if you wanted to draw sort of like a continuous line kind of thing? work that's, I would say you kind of need a pencil drawing. Or the other thing would be, there's going to be things like the proportion, obviously, so it's good to kind of establish some sort of kind of like this. And part of that has to do with the lighting, because you actually don't always have to draw this. The lighting affects things. So like if the background is darker, for example, let's say that I want to just go like that. So part of that has to do with if the background is light, which maybe I'll keep that way, then that would just be the line right there. I could just draw the hair, like, or the space, I guess. Like if I don't want to shade it, again, that's a style kind of thing. Then I'll just do it like that. You can just basically extend it. And so again, it depends on the lighting. So the way I'm looking at this lighting, it looks like right now, I mean, it depends on how you want to shade it. I'm leaving it kind of even, so there's not one side that's that much more lit. So I'm just going to keep it kind of like that. So for example, you can figure out like the bridge of the nose. You can figure out probably where the eyes would go, since that's kind of important. So like right here. And then from there, one thing that, since it's like a front view, the symmetry is kind of important. Take a little time to figure that out. Like for example, where the eyes line up is kind of important, and like the width of it. So I would, from what I can tell, this is a little narrow. So I'm going to adjust the shape. And so again, a lot of this is because it's a front view, and the symmetry is kind of important. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, because faces aren't exactly symmetrical, but we're talking about millimeters though, so it's going to be pretty symmetrical. And we sort of like intuitively sort of know. So yeah, just like the spacing, I would just kind of work on that. And again, just check the proportions. So I'm just using this as like the reference. And I'm keeping the lighting pretty equal. But the eyes do kind of show the lighting. So for example, it is coming from this way because of the highlight right there. Kind of like right here, sort of shows the little bit of the shadow. So I'm just gonna go like that. It's not bad. You could do this, what I'm doing here, but with a pencil, so that you could either erase it or sketch over it, or you could use a pen and kind of sketch. It's just a demo, give you some ideas. But yeah, like I was saying, I wanted to have a video where when I talk about just drawing from imagination, and also like once you get this far, then you kind of have reference right here once you do like studies of the face. And if you're like definite with like how you put down the lines, then it can look more finished that way. So yeah, in some ways this is a simple video, but maybe kind of advanced. Part of it is obviously like the subject matter. Like, I didn't know I was gonna draw exactly this. So yeah, like the more lines you put down, the more you start to actually see like the light and dark. But I wouldn't spend too much time. Just kind of think about what line you're going to put down and do it. I wouldn't overwork it. Now maybe I can come back and shade it. As far as like this area, like the neck basically, it'll be right here. Depends on the pose obviously, so I'll just kind of wrap up the video that way. So you could have it go like this, but then if you want to adjust it, you know that the hair is going to be like that, so you can kind of use the hair to frame or like the outfit. So from what I can tell, it looks like kind of like that. And again, check the proportion. It's actually not too bad. And then you can go back in and do the line weight. Yeah, I just wanted to have a video where I show the process of just drawing from imagination. Basically, once you have a picture, then you can kind of keep adding details if you want. Like the ears could be right here. Also, it depends on the subject matter. So yesterday I was doing the landscape. So with that one, you can be, you're not trying so much to draw symmetrically like this. But I'm going to wrap this up, and I want to thank you for joining me for our daily sketching routine. And if you like these videos, please support the channel. I appreciate it. And until next time, keep on sketching.